Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to take a look at Matopiba. But before that, this video is brought to you by Earl Higgins and Greg Wilson. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Matopiba map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, this map is approximately 502 megabytes in size and does not require any mods. This map, while it is listed in the European maps category, as opposed to being listed in the South American maps category, that is really where this map belongs, because this map is based in Brazil, South America. Let me read you some of the description. Matopiba is a map based in the states of these states here, which I won't read them off, but if you look them up in Google, you'll see that they are in Brazil, where crops are large and disappearing from view. I think that means that they're basically so tall you can't see beyond them, maybe. It has 2 grain sales, Lizard Cooperative and Pioneer, sale of bales, wool and cotton, a lumber yard for sale of logs and wood chips, BGA fixed on the map where you can sell your silage. Then there is an area, we'll call it a wilderness area, where you will be able to build and be creative with your landscaping. Sale of potatoes, beets, milk, and eggs will be made at the market. Sale of milk will also be done at the Supreme Milk. Limestone mine, where you can pick up with your favorite truck or trailer where there is a challenge on the way, and also to sell stones. Pretty much every South American map is going to have a limestone mine. It's almost a requirement. Restaurant and fair, where you can sell your products from the factories, eggs and milk. Sugarcane mill, where you can sell your sugarcane and beet productions. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and kind of jump back over to the map itself. And it's kind of interesting. You see up in the upper right corner, we start at 6 a.m. A lot earlier than we typically start on these maps. But I think it was done so that we have this nice lighting effect here at our start farm location. And if we make our way kind of around the corner, well, we do have a sleep trigger located right here. Let's go ahead and pull up the map itself. This is a standard size map, and we start here with our farm in the northwest corner, specifically farmland ID 62, right in town. Basically, it's a sleep trigger, a wardrobe trigger, and a garage. We also have farmland ID 49, which is our starting field, 11.98 hectares in size, $718,536 to buy that. Let's cycle back here to our farmland. If we do start this map up and we select we do not want to own the starting farm, well, this is still here. The equipment is still here, and you can pick this up pretty sweet deal. That's $8,664. Now we have some fairly large fields up here on the upper plateau. And then we also have what I'm going to call the wilderness area over here, which is just kind of a grassy area. There are several farmlands where you can buy up here and carve up, make your own fields, and build out your own farm if you wish. There's only one farm pre-placed on this map, and that is going to be this starting area. We do have all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25. In addition, we have black bean as an additional crop on this particular map. We cycle over to our farmlands. Once again, you'll see we own 62 and 49. And then we have all of the other farmland areas listed. With respect to our crop counter, we have the standard FS25 crop counter, but we do have black bean listed here. We can plant black beans in March, as well as September, October, and November. And then we can harvest our black beans in July, August, and September. We do not have any animals on this map pre-placed. We do have some contracts available, including dead wood and wood transport. So we do have the new contracts from FS25. We have 2 productions pre-placed on this map. They are the BGA and the sawmill. There are obviously other areas where you could put down additional productions, should you so wish. With respect to our sell points, I counted up 7 different sell points on this particular map. And our starting fleet, which is going to be available to us across all play modes if we own the farm or not. We have the Challenger MT635 tractor, Farm Tech EDK 650 trailer, with a Great Plains solid stand 1500 seeder, John Deere 3650 tractor, John Deere 980 cultivator, then a Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, header, and header trailer. We also do start out with a Husqvarna chainsaw for our hand tools, and this map does have the 50 golden apples from Sri Lanka as collectibles. Let's just kind of take a look here at our starting area. Like I said, we have our sleep trigger. And then inside our shed, we're going to locate our wardrobe trigger and our header trailer for our harvester. But you might ask yourself, well, where's all my other stuff? Right? Well, all your other stuff is either over here at your field or kind of right down the road in this gas station area. So let's just kind of walk that way because, well, we've got some time to kill because the dealer doesn't open until 7 a.m. So if you jump immediately to the dealer, try to get in to buy more machinery, it's closed. You're not getting in. So you got to kill some time until 7 a.m. That's when the doors are going to open. So let's just kind of walk down here. Most of the stuff here on this map is located right here in town anyway. So we have Farmland 54. Let's get off of this. So we have Ben over here, Walter's over there, David. There we have our warehouse, our buy point. We're right here along a river. Hello, Walter. What's up? Someone needs to come over here and pick up this trash. So we have our fuel point. And then we have a restaurant. And this is going to be a sell point over here in the extreme northwest corner. And then on the other side of our fuel point, that's where we're going to find, well, our Challenger tractor, our seeder, and I believe our cultivator. Yep. So here's some more of our starting machinery. We go across the street. We're going to find the warehouse. This is where we're going to be able to buy product in. And then we also have a sell point here at Lizard Logistics. So here's your warehouse buy point. And as I mentioned, our dealership, well, it's going to open at 7 a.m. So let's come over here. Check out our milk sell point. It's located right here. And then, tell you what, Case IH is pretty darn popular in South America. So it's not that big of a surprise that we've got a Case IH dealership here. So you can see we are 10 minutes to 7. Speed her up a little bit. And 7 a.m. Doors open wide, ready for business. So once the doors are open, we can go inside here to the manager's office where we're going to be able to pick up our vehicles and machinery. And then if we make our way down this corridor into the service bay, well, we have our dealer service trigger, and then we have our activation icon right there. And around the back, we've got a very, very nice area for our vehicles and machinery to spawn. Now, we've kind of gotten away from doing a little drive around. We've been flying around a fair bit as of late in these map videos. Thought we kind of maybe harken back a little bit to how we used to do things by just puttering up here to our next sell point, which is right next to the grain dealer. Not right next to the vehicle dealer. We have one of our grain sell points. And then we have our starting field right next door. That's where we're going to find our harvester, one of our tractors, and our trailer. So just past the river. We're going to make our way over here, and there we have our field. Right by the river. Right, so it's currently got a nice covering of fog and such. And then up on the hill, well, we have one of our sell points. So let's take off a little bit, and we can see the road is going to meander up the side of this plateau to this little shop area. We have a sell point there. And, well, we still have a little bit more ways to climb until we get up here to our plateau. And then everything just flattens out. And we have this big area directly in front of us that is kind of the wilderness area on this map. So you can see we've got fairly flat land, some subtle hills here and there. But we have a fairly good chunk of the map, maybe a third of the map here in kind of wilderness. And then I really like the distance. In fact, when I was looking at this map earlier, before recording it, I ran right up against the edge of the map, and I'm like, oh, there's more fields out there. And then why can't I move? And then I realized I was up against the edge of the map. So when that happens, that means the map edge is done right. When your mind is completely fooled that you are trying to get outside the play area, it means the area outside the play area was done well. You see, we have very big fields here in the southeast corner of the map. These fields can easily be merged together to make even larger fields. Here we have another grain sell point, I believe. Lizard Agro-Industrial. Sell point under this canopy. And another kind of token aspect of South American maps is their sell points are always in buildings kind of this similar design. Very big area here. Almost feels like a bit of a wasted space, how big this is. But I'm sure that these large industrial sell points are extremely big where they are. And, well, they seem to have their own football field associated with them. Let's just see. Let's see if is there a football here? I don't see it. Oh, well. I wanted to see if it worked, just like the one on Zonalka. We've got a bale sell point located right here. This is, of course, going to work for cotton bales as well. Our two productions are down here in the southwest corner. Yeah. So we have our biogas plant with two pull-through silage bunkers. Then we have our sawmill located right here. We have our wood cell point. We have our wood cell trigger. We have our wood chip spawn point and our interactive trigger there. And then our spawn point for our products. All right, and then we have more of our plateau up here with these fields. And you can see we have another road here that makes its way down to the town level, which is down in the river valley. And there we have another road here at the bottom that kind of snakes its way around. So here we have our animal dealer with our animal dealer buy point. And of course, Kate's just hanging out, waiting to answer all of our intriguing questions. And well, lo and behold, there you go. There's one of your golden apples. Here we're going to have the lime mine. And then if we make our way back up to the plateau, we have a very large area here that's going to be for your sugarcane. So your sugarcane dump point is right here. And this isn't a sugar factory. This is simply a sugarcane sell point. Because the only two factories we have on the map are in the extreme southwest. That's the BGA and the sawmill. And that, folks, that is the map. We do have a little bit area up here where we again have kind of a wilderness building area. Then we've got this nice dirt road that makes its way and winds its way back down toward town. Really cool waterfall going on there. So with your farm way down here in the valley, right, you got quite a drive to get up to these bigger fields, unless of course you go and sequester some land up there and build a second farm out. So I'd love to know your all's thoughts and comments down in the comments section below as to what you think of Matopiba. I'm sure I completely butchered that, but I think that's what we're kind of getting known for here at the channel, is completely not being able to pronounce pretty much anything that isn't directly straight English. Till next time, happy farming.